I'm Kathleen Lau, and this is ComputerWorld Canada in Conversation, and this week I'm joined by Jeff Jedras of Computer Dealer News. And earlier this week, Jeff and I had the chance to attend SAP's user conference, SapphireNOW, in Orlando. And the event this year coincidentally took place about 100 days into the tenure of the newly minted co-CEOs Bill McDermott and Jim Hagemann-Schnabbe. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you, Kathleen.
So, Jeff, there were several key messages that we heard at SapphireNOW, and one of which was this new direction that SAP wants to take as a company. And as we know, they do have new leadership, and they were talking about building this new, bold SAP. And I think one of the ways that we saw that this year was in the format of the conference itself. So it was for the first time in SAP's history, it was simulcast across two locations, Orlando and Frankfurt. And what SAP was saying was that this certainly reflects very well this idea of a real-time, unwired enterprise that they're trying to help customers build.
Well, certainly they were playing up that aspect of the conference, Kathleen, but I thought they might have overplayed their hand a bit there. They kept saying how the conference is being simulcast by satellite from Frankfurt and Orlando, making it seem like they had just invented satellite technology, when I'm fairly certain that happened a few years prior. And as far as the bold new direction that SAP is hoping to take, I think that sounds great, but I hear that from every company at every conference I go to. I've yet to hear a company say that they're promising a timid and old direction, although that might be fun. I think we'll have to wait and see how much this bold new direction from SAP is just marketing speak, or how much they're able to actually translate that bold new direction into actual product.
Well, I think the point here is that this is new for SAP, and other companies might have done it in the past, but with SAP, they're really trying hard to rebrand their company and really trying hard to change that image as a more progressive company that listens to the ecosystem around it. But in terms of actual concrete announcements that you were asking about, they did have some news announcements. One of them was a high-performance in-memory analytical engine. And then there was also the private cloud partnership with EMC, VMware, and Intel as well. I think one of product announcements aside, one of the key messages as well was that it really wanted to commit to this ecosystem around it. So build that stronger relationship with customers, with employees, create trust in that relationship, and also really work well with the vendors around it and foster a healthy relationship.
Well, I certainly did like what we heard from SAP about their commitment to fostering an open ecosystem and to partnering, and that's one of the ways that they're setting themselves apart, it would seem, from Oracle, their major rival in this space, and certainly the white elephant in the room for much of the conference. We heard them referred to as our friends from California, our friends from Redwood, or oftentimes my favorite, they call them our friends Big Red. The approaches of the two companies in this respect are very different. SAP staying committed to that open stack, Oracle taking a much more closed approach, wanting to own the entire stack and seeing value in being able to bring all those pieces together from one vendor without having to go to different vendors and trying to bring those pieces together. But I think at the same time, as much as SAP was very keen to say that we're not Oracle, there are some very strong similarities into the approach that the two companies are taking. If you look at the messaging of SAP when they're competing against point product players like a Salesforce.com, their value proposition is that while a Salesforce can only offer you the on-demand piece of the puzzle, you have to get the on-premise from someone else and then mesh those two together. What SAP says is that we can give you the on-demand, we can give you the on-premise, and now with our acquisition of Sybase, we can give you the mobility piece as well and have that all just fit together. And if you think about it, that's not really that different than the message that Oracle is taking to market in saying that by being able to deliver the entire stack, it'll all just work better together.
I do agree with you, Jeff, because I did get that message as well when they talked about their development process moving forward. And they said that they did want to continue building all of their independent offerings consistently, so that the customer then will have no problem integrating any of that. And the idea is that the customer then can digest that in whichever format they wish, either on-premise, on-demand, or mobile. And one of the key messages that SAP executives talked about was really continuing to cater to that traditional ERP on-premise customer, with their core solutions, but also really reaching out to new customers, or at least giving customers that choice to branch out into mobile and on demand. So in a way, SAP is also trying to be everything to their customers as well, but in a slightly different way as Oracle. But it's a similar thought process.
But can they be all things to all people, though? I guess on that point, rather than SapphireNOW, it'll be more like Sapphire wait and see.
I agree, Jeff. It definitely will be a wait and see, and I know the industry will be watching to see how SAP actually delivers on all of these key messages that they've been sending out during the week. And thanks, Jeff. This has been Jeff Jedras and Kathleen Lau for Computer World Canada in Conversation, and join us next time.